So the first process is we take the malted barley or whatever we're using, but in this case it's all barley, and we mash it into the mash tun. We put in hot water and give it a good mix, and we basically make a porridge which takes all the starches and converts them into sugars at a certain temperature. In a nutshell, the hotter that you mash it in here, the more complicated and longer chain the sugars are. They get converted from starches in here. The yeast won't break them up as much in the fermenter at the end, which means that the sugar will be left in the beer, which means it could be a sweeter beer or a more full-bodied, heavier beer. So once the wort has recirculated and become clear, we can transfer it over to the boil kettle. And while it's transferring, we put a little shower on the top just to rinse it and to try and rinse all the sugars out of the grains that we can, get the maximum efficiency out of the system. So it's getting close to boil now, so I'm going to put in the hops to start the bittering. So this is a really dark malt. We've been steeping it in cold water all day. So we're going to add that now to the very end of the boil and hopefully turn this IPA into a black IPA. The hops are done, the kettle stopped boiling, the temperature's correct, so we can now transfer this across to the fermenter, where we keep it in a sterile environment, and we bring the temperature down to a good temperature that the yeast, which we're going to add, can turn the sugary water into beer. So we're just about to do that now. At the end of the transfer process, then we add the yeast, which will eat the sugars and create alcohol and CO2. Give that a couple of days in the fermenter, and then we dry hop it, where we add a lot of hops, which just give it that delicate aroma, a little bit of flavour to it as well. And then at the end of that 3 or 4 days, we crash the temperature right down for a day, and we transfer to the conditioning tanks, where it conditions for about 10 days, just to let the flavours come together and let the beer clarify a little bit, and then we package it from there in the bottle or the keg.